Hello students, today we're going to talk about doing some raw workflow and batch editing. If you've taken several pictures from one particular scene, for example, I'm going to scroll through here, these were all taken at one particular time from an MS walk that we did along with my sister. And so the backgrounds are very similar, the people are similar. So if you were to do a whole photo shoot and want to really spend time editing one picture and then duplicating what you've done on other pictures, this is the way to go. And we did that in another tutorial with presets, but in this one here we're going to do this completely in Bridge. So we'll do all of our editing on one photo, and then what we're going to do is apply everything we did to the other photos without even opening them in RAW. So just to kind of go through these basic things again, you can warm up your temperature and your tint by changing your white balance a little bit. Brighten some things up, add a little bit of contrast to your pictures, add some clarity. Just kind of giving you some ideas as to what to change. This one here is our parametric or point, very much like curves, where we can mess around with our highlights, our lights, and our darks and shadows. We can sharpen the photo. Obviously, the higher you take it, the more extreme the sharpening is. You can affect the radius of how large that sharpening is, the detail in it. You can try and reduce the noise, again, by kind of bringing it all the way up. We'll soften the photograph quite a bit, almost like a Gaussian blur. Maybe that's a little bit too much. And then you can enhance the detail of that luminance. You can see as we go backwards, you can almost see like a dramatic, kind of defocusing of what's happening there. And you can change that contrast and the color. So you can do a good bit with sharpening here. With your saturation, hue, and luminance, you can add different colors or bring out different colors in here. I'm not sure that that's something we don't need to bring out any more orange that's in what we have here. We had mentioned the hue and the saturation and luminance in a previous tutorial. Split toning allows you to direct your highlights versus your shadows with your hue and saturation, and you can balance those in between however you choose to move the sliders. We can do some lens vignetting here, or we can, change the distortion of our picture if we wanted to kind of make it look like it popped out a little bit more, or is inverted in a little bit if we wanted to scale it up or down. And again, we reviewed some of these things on a previous tutorial. So I'm actually going to Control Z and bring back some of those things there. Now, I like the lens vignetting, which kind of gives, again, more of a focus on what's in the middle of the picture, but I want to do a more dramatic vignetting. So I'm actually going to go to the Effects tool, change this to Color Priority, and do a Post-Crop vignetting. And so you can see it's a much more dramatic point I can change to make my midpoint even in a little bit further to kind of get the distraction of the background people further out of the picture. I can change how round it is, or make it a little bit more square. I can feather it a bit more so it's not quite so extreme. I can change where my highlights appear, but that kind of takes my effect away, so I'm going to leave that at 0. Now again, what I could do is I could save this as a preset and then open individual pictures in RAW and duplicate this. But instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually just click Done on this picture, because I could resave it as a different name, which is what I normally require you to do, so you would have that. Actually, let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to call this one Workflow After 1. And I'm going to leave it saved as a JPEG. And then I'm going to hit Cancel. So now I'm going to zoom out. That was our before picture. Here's our after. So I just want to bring that down just to kind of show you the difference there. So all the edits that we made, we smoothed out the picture a little bit. We added some intensity in the color, and the biggest thing I think was that that crop vignetting there, where we really took out some of the distraction in the background. Now these other images that we have sitting here, what I want to do is I want to duplicate what we did to those. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click, open in Camera Raw. I'm going to go to Develop Settings, and I'm going to tell it Previous Conversion. And so once I clicked there, it did everything that we told it to do with that other image. Now, because of the color temperature that we made the other one here, it kind of made that one slightly blue because obviously the lighting was not quite the same in that direction. So that might be something we want to go back and adjust. And I hit Develop Settings and Previous Conversion. So again, comparing these two images here, we have made, again, that significant change and edits. We've made those edits to those pictures exactly. So my suggestion to you is this, is to edit something, similar to what I did on one of my photographs and then do the Develop Settings Previous Conversion on each one of those pictures. Then open up 3 or 4 of your own images that are similar, taken from the same time, roughly the same color temperature, the same people, or go take some new pictures and then do the same thing. Edit one of them really intensely and then copy that previous conversion to each one. So again, if you're working in the same sitting on several photographs, thinking about editing event shoots this way would save you a great deal of time. Whether or not you've shot in RAW or not, it really makes no difference. If you edit the first one in RAW, you can duplicate the rest. So use my photos, pick 3 or 4 of your own photos, and good luck.